Is Pera Wallet making a major change? We are going to look at that speculation today, plus a slew of other Algorand news. We got major news involving US dollar coin and Algorand, a big update for non-fungible domains, Gunny launching its first test tournament, AlgoRai launching a news incentive program, very unique. We're going to dig into that. Some quick lofty AI updates. CompX launching its first ever partner staking. Can you guess who? We're going to show you who it is. It's a project we've covered before, and like I said, we're going to get into that Pera news. But if you like this kind of stuff, guys, really love it if you'd hit that like and subscribe button. As always, we are brought to you by Non-fungible domains. Guys, if you want that .algo address instead of that complicated letters and numbers for your Algorand address, this is the way to do it. It's really affordable and it's a lot of fun. They also have vaults and segments, plenty of features, and they're always building. We actually have a little update for them today later on too, so you can see that. And they're going to be in Coinbase's new Learn program where you try out the Quest program, so check that out. And by the way, we have channel memberships. If you want this news before anyone else, just for $1 a month, you can get that. So $1 a month helps support the channel. Thanks to everyone who's subscribed so far, who's done that, and I appreciate that. Otherwise, let's get to the news. Yeah, so Algorand flipping other chains on US dollar coin. It's becoming, there's more US dollar coin being minted on Algorand than a lot of other chains now. Let's look at which ones. Okay, this comes courtesy Michael Jordan. Ranking Algorand flips Stellar, Near, Tron, Polkadot, and Hedera for the amount of US dollar coin issued on chain. This is through Circle. There's been $392.4 million minted on USDC. I'm like 5,000 of that. Well, no, probably 2,500 of that. About half my tiny man pool. And yeah, it's gone up 317% in the past week. Quite a bit in the past day too. So that's quite a bit. Actually, that's a major increase, by the way. That is a major increase. This is from USDC.cool. Wait, now I'm confused. Did this not happen? USDC cool removed it, claimed something with their RPC. It was a pre-mint, no idea. They use big words. Still, instead of just coming out and telling us in simple terms what happened, I think developers can do this sometimes. Just tell me like an average person walking. Yeah, absolutely. That's been one of my most frustrating things in crypto, is that people won't come out and just say it. So actually, it kind of looks like this might not be true then, but this is USDC.cool. Okay, so here's where it really stands. Looks like the numbers were wrong, but the actual idea is correct. Still more than Tron, more than Polkadot, more than Hedera or ZK Sync, not more than Near, not more than Stellar or Polygon Avalanche. You can see like Base and Solana, this is the big part of it. So, and of course Ethereum being the top one. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, so the numbers are incorrect, but the actual news is correct. It's still, was that right? Let me see. Stellar, was it more than, it was not more than Stellar. That was incorrect. Or Near, not more than Near either. So yeah, actually I'm kind of surprised. I think if it were me, I would have taken that tweet down actually, because a lot of times people will just see the tweet and not see the thing underneath it. I definitely, Michael, if you're watching, you should take that tweet down, buddy. Well, that's not great news, but the great news we do have is Non-fungible domains coming out with a new version. Let's take a look at this. It might seem a little confusing at first. Okay, here we go. Exciting news. NFT version 3 is live. Read the full details. Important NFT upgrade to maintain all features and lifetime status. Upgrade to v2.212. Oh, here we go. Yeah, to maintain all features and lifetime status, stick with v2.12 only. Be warned, v2.12 to v3 changes your NFT to a renewal. So there was, it's pretty important. There was an issue a while back where they said that they were going to go to like an annual payment plan after a certain time, even for people who bought in the initial phase where it was supposed to be free for life. And we covered that. Even though they're a sponsor, we still covered it. You know, let's try to go through some of the changes here. So the key changes of version 3 will be yearly renewals. So that's not, yeah, so basically if you upgrade to V3, it's going to be, you're going to have to renew yearly. And I think that's probably fair. If you got a website domain, you have to do it yearly. But I know a lot of people were upset that they weren't grandfathering in people who had bought it under the assumption. And I think they backed off on that, and I think that was a good idea, because I was critical of that too. If you sign up for something and they tell you it's for life, you can't turn around and say, well, actually, we're going to charge you yearly for this. I personally would not have had a problem. There was like a pretty long period of time where it would have not renewed. So it would have been like 10 years, I think, I think it was different times for different people. But if you had like if you bought one of the really expensive ones, I think it was like 10 years before the renewal starts kicking in. But also direct and permissionless minting, flexible royalties on secondary sales, max registration time, segment fees, and inflation schedule. So here's the price per year. 5+ characters is $6. Segments are $5 plus the owner fee, which is what we're talking about. 4 is 12. So only if you get to one character. So if you're like X.algo or something, it'd be 300. It'd be pretty expensive per year. But most people, like mine's definitely in this where it would be $6 a year. So not really super expensive. Royalties. Decided not to enforce royalties in the contracts, making NFTs more neutral and interoperable. This allows marketplaces to set their own fees for secondary trading. NFT domains will continue to enforce a 5% commission on app.nft domains, but only through the front end. Max registration time. The max registration of 20 years is important for us to provide the services offered to users for the entire time they have paid for. We never want to discontinue a feature because it costs too much, but we're cognizant that things can change over a 10 to 20-year time frame. Segment fees. We've removed the greater of $4 or 25% price model as it was overly confusing. It is no longer needed for a renewal model. Instead, segments will simply have a $5 platform fee plus root owner fee. Now remember, you're grandfathered into the old structure as long as you don't upgrade to version 3. But I don't know what's involved in that. So, but it's coming out in the next few weeks. Coinbase, right before Coinbase Quest starting, as we covered before, they are included in Coinbase Quest as part of one of the projects that you'll complete to earn algo on Coinbase Quest. So pretty interesting stuff. I'm sure the fees that always garner any new NFT minted as a renewal. All right, we got more news for you. Gunny launching its first test tournament. Let's take a look at that. This is from Gunny themselves. They say, we're excited to announce our first test tournament for Gunny Rush. It starts Friday, September 6th. It actually already kicked off, and you had 3 days to complete. So I believe that's ending today as I record this. But it's interesting that they got their first one out there. Not a huge, $10 for first place, $5 for second, etc. Oh, there is an iOS version, so you can now get it. That's probably bigger. That's probably actually the bigger news, is that now you can get it on iOS. I had checked before and didn't find it on there, so cool to see it on there now. We'll have to check that out and report back for sure. So this next one is really interesting. This is a new news incentive program from AlgoRai. This is pretty interesting, so we're going to dig into this one a little bit. AlgoRai news program. Keep Algorand informed. Post daily and weekly updates on financial news, your insights, and how it impacts our supported assets. Algo, Bitcoin, ETH, Gold, PayPay, and more. AlgoRai is the bar. Oh, raise the bar. Okay, I get it. Yeah, I want to dig into this a little deeper because this is. I'm pretty fascinated by this, actually. They're contributing immediately, and let's unpack the news together. Task write daily, weekly news updates and share it on Twitter. These updates should focus on financial markets, macroeconomic events, and news that could impact crypto trading, such as U.S. interest rates, Federal Reserve announcements, other significant developments regionally and globally, and how these news events impact AlgoRai products and vaults, your DeFi strategies, and favorite assets. Create a concise daily summary, 2 to 3 bullet points, or a detailed weekly report. So there's 10,000 algo total in the rewards pool. You get points, so 1.5 per day on the 4th consecutive day. So you gotta, so in other words, you have to, like, they're incentivizing you to, continue this high quality, 3 points per week to encourage in-depth analysis, quality bonus, high quality posts that demonstrate deep analysis or attract significant engagement. And then it's like a prize pool. So first place, top 3 contributors is what they meant here. On the leaderboard will receive the majority of the rewards. Portion of the rewards, 40% or 4,000 algo, will be divided equally among all contributors who consistently participated through the month. Get at least 5 contributions. You got to sign up. You got to sign up with your Twitter handle and your address, and link to your Twitter, link to your news entry. So actually, I guess you want to do this first and then apply. Did they actually explain that? And you got to do this for each entry. So you're not going to be tracking it. You just have to every time. Okay, I get it now. So every time you post one of these updates. So definitely, that's going to be a lot for a daily, just to go to this address every day. But for the weekly, it probably seems a little less onerous, but also your points, you can earn more points, it seems, by probably doing all of these. But what I don't get is, like, if you have 4 people who do all of these, I wonder what do you get first, second, and third? Like, because someone could theoretically post every day, and then I guess it'd be judged by quality. But it's an interesting idea. I can see some flaws with it, and I don't know. I've been doing this without any rewards. I just get whatever YouTube pays me. Plus, some of the support of my customers and from non-fungible domains. So interesting anyway. Next, I just wanted to go through some Lofty updates. I'm still pretty bearish on Lofty. I haven't had a really great experience. Like my percentage, I'm like just getting way more in DeFi. But let's take a look. They've been adding a lot of, they just added an Austin, Texas property. By the way, I would definitely stay away from single occupancy. That's one thing I learned. I actually learned from like an actual real estate investor. He's like, he's like, I wouldn't go through anything less than a fourplex. It's been kind of my, more Airbnb. They've been doing a lot of Airbnbs, and I was curious about that, but those have gone just as badly as a lot of the other ones have for me. Let's see. They have more liquidity pools live for some of their tokens. I'm still waiting for them to add liquidity pools for tokens that are not on, that are allowed to support an external wallet, because most of my tokens are on an external wallet. So like the liquidity pools, I can't use almost any of them. I've sold everything that's on a liquidity pool, so maybe that's why. Now there's a HELOC structure. That's really interesting. What does that mean? Let's look at this for a second. Yeah, just looking through this looks really confusing. Property owners transfer the property deed to a new LLC and selling a portion of the LLC on marketplace. Property is only asset owned by the LLC. They maintain a 10%. It gets really confusing. Okay, I don't know. That's not that interesting. You know, the bottom line is, I think the bottom line I've had with Lofty is I think it's a really good idea in principle. In practice, like it just hasn't been a very good investment for me. It's mostly faltered. And one really important caveat is that Lofty will say that a property is worth a certain amount that you've actually gained. Lofty will say you've actually made money on the property through appreciation, but when you go to sell it, you find that it's actually selling for far less. So what's the real price? The real price is what you can get for the token. So from what I've seen, I've never been able to sell a token for more than I paid for it. So far, I've had to sell it for less to actually get it to move. So that's something really important to keep in mind. You'll see like the floor price listed. A lot of times it's lower than what they say it's actually valued at. Some good news from CompX, which we haven't covered before, I don't think, but good this. Big news, we're thrilled to announce our first ever partner staking pool. We've teamed up with Incredible Realms, which is the new 15 million Nico staking pool. Realms is the metaverse project on Algorand, has yet to launch. Some features are launched. They were supposed to launch a dApp. Let me see if they did. Going through, I don't see any. They were supposed to launch a dApp last week, from what I understand. We have to opt in. It is there. Okay, we'll have to do that at some point. It is launched, and that is their new staking pool. So very cool. We'll have to dive into that on another episode. Last but not least, this very mysterious bit of news from Pera. We don't know what this is about, but well, let's just take a look. Pera posted 4 days with the little googly eyes. Jordan said 4 days, no response. We'll go cash back with MasterCard. Why nobody answer? Immersive integration is still a work in progress. They are working on a MasterCard integration, by the way. I don't know about the Algo cashback thing, but you on about Pera? So this was tweeted on the 8th, which means either the 11th or the 12th. Obviously, that is not today yet, so we'll have to keep an eye out on what they are talking about. But I hope it's not the same thing where I noticed the foundation used to tease news, and then like it turned out to be something like really lame. I hope like it would, like they made this big announcement was coming, and then it turned out just to be the date of Decipher. That's like such a letdown, just really tone deaf. I hope this is not that case. I hope something big actually is coming from Pera, but we will be keeping an eye on that, so stay tuned and we will get you that news. By the way, if you guys haven't liked and subscribed already, please do so. I hope everyone's well out there. This week should be a fairly normal week, but next week I will be traveling to Colorado, and I will be visiting, it was already announced, I guess, so I have to say it. I can say it now, I guess, but I will be visiting Dora's Tacos in Iowa on the way out there, and we'll probably have some kind of video about that, but I don't know. Otherwise, I don't know about my ability to make videos. Probably get that Dora Taco one out while I'm out there, but otherwise it's going to be tough. For a number of technological reasons, but so you might have to go without me for a week or so, but just to let you know. Otherwise, I hope everyone's doing well out there. Stay safe. Keep hanging on, because that bull run's coming. So stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the future.